Howdy everyone, Cowie, your average sim racer here. I'm back with another track guide. Didn't realise I actually hadn't done a track guide for Daytona Road.
Is 88 kilometers per hour.
So here we are on the road circuit of Daytona. It's a great track. Now, one of the things about this track, because of that oval and the supercar, you're really looking to try and take big advantage of that. So
Push now.
effectively you're running as low a wing as possible. So this setup that I'm on at the moment, I raced on it last night, and it is a 10 wing setup. Now you'll have to tweak with the rear of the car to get it to sit a bit better, maybe add a bit more camber. I think my toe in is about -2 or 0.2 or 0.3 I think. But yeah, running a fairly high camber in the rear to try and get the car to sort of be stable. So you might have to tweak that to make the most of it. But this is the section here is really where it comes into the fray. Now, when I'm actually qualifying, I like to start the lap right back here because it gives me my good rhythm for the bus stop up here, because you really want to try and get a great run through the bus stop and carry a lot of speed onto that last part of the straight to start the lap. Alright, now you'll see there I'm sort of braking probably at about the 2 or maybe just before it. Right, setting it up, trying to get the turn in. Now generally I run high to start off with on this lap, and then you want to sort of bring it down and really run close to the groove. Now you're almost running your tyres on the white line, and you'll feel a little bit of a bump through your force feedback, but that actually helps the car really stick to the ground. Now up here we're looking to brake probably a couple of meters before the end of the grass. Because I'm doing 300 k's, you've got to brake a little bit earlier, and you think it's hard on the brakes in a straight line. Back to second. As you can see there, I probably could have gone a little bit deeper. Going through here in second. Alright, and up here we're looking at a brake at about 110, I would think. Back to second. Try and get the car turned in, because if you can get on the gas and get a really good run out of there, that is a corner that when you get it wrong, it'll cost you a lot of time. Alright, up here we're shifting to fifth and then sort of going about half throttle and then back on it and braking about a metre past where the triangle line starts. Back to second. Possibly could have used a bit more road there on entry. Alright, and up here we're braking at the end of that white line there on the right. Back to second. It's really important to get a good run. You don't want wheel spin. You can see the car there wanting to dance out on me a little. And the same principle here. You can run really close just on the white line and you'll feel the rumble through your steering wheel, but it actually seems to help you with a bit of speed. Alright, so up here we're looking to brake at the 2. Maybe just inside it if you're really brave. Back to third. Try and stay inside the track limits, but you want to try and really get a nice flow through there. Now, as far as this lap goes, you probably wouldn't climb up to finish the lap. Stay on that white line, or the yellow line I should say. And there is a lap of Daytona. Alright, so we'll do that again, and I'll probably talk a little bit less this time. But again, it's all about braking in a straight line for the big heavy braking area. And you can start to come off. We've got a nice run through there, but a little bit heavy on the gas. That cost me. I've got a fairly stable setup for 10 wing, but really, you know, I've spoken to a few other drivers who maybe are running, say, 12 or 14, but I think you're giving up a fair bit. The toe, though, I will say, is absolutely massive around here, and if you can hook up a toe in a league race for quali or something like that, it can make half a second difference, easy. Alright, so you see there I got a bit better exit because I got a bit of slide the first one around. Alright, I'm really trying to see if I can get on the gas as early as possible, Just keeping the car straight there. We're pretty close to the first lap that we've done. It was a 46 flat, which is pretty good. I think I'm on race fuel, so it's not a qualifying setup by any chance. But I think, you know, sort of last night, first couple of laps on tyres, I was probably in the sort of high 45s, and there's a cut. Now, you got to be careful there. There's a couple of cuts that if you take them too much, they turn into slowdowns, and a second slowdown is going to cost you about 3 to 5. So it's not a great spot to get a slowdown this track. All right, we'll come around once more and show you the pit entry.
45.82. That was your fastest lap of the session.
You can see there, and again, that rear wing means the car will want to step out on you every now and again when you're aggressive on the accelerator. Alright. Okay, we did alright there on that exit there. It's a tricky corner, especially when you're running 10 wing. A little bit wide there. Now note that even though I made a mistake, I made sure that when I was braking, I know it's a big heavy braking zone, you brake in a straight line. If you really need to maximise your braking, when you start to turn, that's when you're trailing off the brakes. Big trick to driving these cars and to really get the most speed out of them is your trail braking. And again, trying to use a bit of slip angle on that to get the car to turn for you. Alright, so coming around to up to the bus stop chicane. Now again here, it's all about flow. So you're braking at about the 2. Maybe a little bit closer if you run a bit more wing. But notice that I'm going really close to try and get as much of the car up on those 2 ripple strips without cutting off the track. Now the ripple strips themselves are okay, but you definitely don't want to get the whole car up on them, because then that's when you sort of get in trouble to get a slowdown. Alright, entry into the pit here, you're staying flat chat. Now you'll see there's a little kink in the white line. Just before the second kink is where we're going to brake. And as you can see, we probably brake right on it there. So, but you're looking for the 2 kinks in that white line. It's the second one is where you're going to brake. Alright. Anyway guys, there's a quick look at Daytona Road. It's actually a really fun track to drive, you know, when you've got the setup working. So take that wing out of it, really get some speed. And as I said, if you get a tow and you get really close to someone down that back straight, it's worth 2 or 3 tenths on each of those straights, so you can pick up half a second and you know, really get a great run. Does mean that when you're racing someone though, the tow is about 1.5 to 2 seconds, so you've got to get outside 2 seconds, or you're dragging them along and they'll eventually catch up to you and you'll have a battle all race. But it does make it a fun place to race at. Alright guys, Carry Average Sim Racer here to sign off. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you all next time. Cheers.